Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a thriller horror film, Stalking Helena. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a young boy approaching his doctor father in his study room. His father, holding an X-ray film with one hand, cuts him off mid-sentence, saying he is busy. A party is going on at their house that night. The father is still working late into the night. A guest tells the boy that his father is always working, so their family will have a beautiful house, and that he will take over his father at the hospital. Guests are roaming around, drinks in hand. His mother is busy with a handsome man in tow. The boy calls his mother from the stairs, where he has sought refuge. But she neglects her son at the party and focuses on the hormone-rich man beside her, rather than her medicine-smelly doctor husband. Fast forward to some years later, the boy's mother died. Just a few minutes after her burial, the grown-up boy, Nick, is now a doctor. He rushes out from the funeral and goes to the hospital immediately. But he seems not to care that it is the funeral of his mother. The hospital staff is amazed that Nick still manages to go to work despite his circumstances. After work, he goes home to the big old house, which he has just inherited. Nick lovingly touches some furniture, and visions of the past come rushing back. In his imagination, he sees his mother coming out of her room, naked and with another hormone-rich man. Even if it is daytime, he goes to a bar to have a drink with his friend to clear his head. From the corner of his eye, he sees Helena, a woman he recognizes. Nick is hormone-shaken at the sight of her and goes to the nearest phone. He and his friend left the bar, and then he went home to his apartment. His girlfriend is stacking groceries when he arrives at his apartment. He goes out jogging even if it is already dark. He sees her car parked on the road, so he looks up at her window. He goes to the back door and is about to knock on it, but he changes his mind. Instead, he climbs on top of a tree directly in front of Helena's bedroom. He meets Helena by the window, drinking wine. She starts to undress until she is only in her bra. She goes near the window while sipping a glass of wine. He holds his breath at the beautiful sexy body in front of him. The wind is teasing her hair, making her look very seductive. She then lays down on the bed, and that is when Nick realizes that Helena is with Hormone Strong, a man in their neighborhood. He feels devastated at the awful sight he has just witnessed and climbs down the tree in a hurry. Nick runs back in the direction of his home, with the scene firmly etched in his mind. He cannot erase from his thoughts about Helena making love with Hormone Strong. Nick continues to think about what is happening inside the apartment of Helena. Nick happens to chance upon a telephone booth and hurriedly calls his friend. It turns out that Nick had a one-night stand with Helena before, and that he has become obsessed with her after that. The friend advises Nick to stay away from Helena so that he will get over his obsession. After his phone conversation with his friend, Nick keeps saying she is so beautiful, but also smelly. He goes to a nearby flower shop to buy flowers for Helena. Nick composes a letter to her. He is confused about what to write. On the table are crumpled, unfinished letters, all addressed to her. He hands the final note to the shopkeeper. Nick then goes to her place and watches her bedroom floor from afar. He falls asleep and wakes up the next day, still parked outside her house. He comes home and sees his girlfriend asleep on the sofa, obviously waiting for him to arrive home the previous night. He tries to call Helena, but her phone keeps on ringing. Helena is still busy doing smelly exercises with Hormone Strong, although she keeps glancing at the constantly ringing telephone. Annoyed, she finally picks it up, only to hear silence from the other end. Helena puts down the phone and loses interest in the workout. She orders Hormone Strong to go home because she is now in a bad mood. When Hormone Strong leaves, she calls a grocery shopkeeper and orders vodka, lime juice, and pomegranates. The next day, Nick is busy organizing a party at his house. He is holding a party, hoping that Helena will accept his invitation and attend the celebration. Meanwhile, Helena is at her house when Hormone Strong arrives, inviting Helena to a club that night. She says she has to be at a party that night and then will be off to Mexico the next day. Hormone Strong gets angry at knowing about her plans, which do not include him. He leaves in a bad mood, but Helena seems unconcerned. The party is already in full swing, and Nick is at the door, nervously waiting for Helena. Nick is talking to his friend and the friend's friend, named Hormone Stronger. Nick is very nervous, so he goes upstairs, but comes down again when Helena arrives at the scene. Meanwhile, a guest tells the girlfriend that perhaps Nick is holding a party and he might propose to her that night. The idea leaves the girlfriend with a feeling of excitement, thinking that it must be the case. At the same time, Nick keeps following Helena's smelly hormones like a lovesick puppy. She sees Hormone Stronger, who finds her beautiful. He is captivated by her beauty and keeps following her around. Helena goes near the fountain, removes her shoes, and strips off her clothes. She climbs into the fountain wearing only her stinky underwear and plays with the water. She seems to show little disregard for the guests, who are shocked by what she is doing. Nick watches in awe at the sight of the lovely Helena, with his disgusted and suspicious girlfriend watching him like an annoying security guard. Helena dries herself off and flirts with Hormone Stronger. Inside the house, the friend scolds Nick for inviting Helena over, giving in to his obsession with the woman. The girlfriend overhears their conversation and asks him bluntly if he is sleeping with her. Nick is thinking about what to answer, but at that moment, Hormone Stronger knocks on the door, bidding goodbye and taking Helena with him. Nick sees them leaving together. Meanwhile, Helena keeps looking back at him as if taunting and teasing him. The next day, Helena leaves a message in the voicemail that she left her purse the night before. She tells Nick to bring it to the airport. He meets her and hands over her belongings, but then Helena notices her address book is missing. Nick convinces her to go with him and search for the address book. They reach his home, and she wanders around his living room, seeing a statue of Venus de Milo. She seems captivated by the sculpture of Venus de Milo and keeps caressing it. He sets up the table and invites her for a drink, and then Nick shows her the address book, which he has been hiding all along. She gets so mad at this time because Nick lied to her about its whereabouts. She leaves in a huff, so he runs after her, calling her name. But then a truck passes by, hitting her in an instant. At the hospital, a doctor is asking Nick's girlfriend where Nick might be. The hospital is now looking for a replacement, since Nick has not gone to work for a while. A doctor named Alan hears the conversation and goes to Nick's house. He asks Nick to give him a letter of recommendation as a chief surgeon because he assumes Nick will no longer work at the hospital. Nick denies this, saying he will work on Monday. Alan hears a strange sound coming from one of the rooms. Nick goes into the room and adjusts Helena to an upright position. At this point, Helena no longer has both legs because Nick operated on her, severing her legs. Alan follows him into the room and is shocked to see Helena. Nick tries to convince Alan that he saved Helena's life by operating on her. Alan wants to call a hospital and report the incident because what Nick is doing is unethical. Nick says he will take care of her at his house, and then he bribes Alan to accept his position, as he will resign from the hospital and Alan can take his place. In exchange, Alan will not report the incident, and Nick also gets to keep Helena at his home. Alan agrees to the deal and leaves, his greed taking over him. The next day, Nick brings a wheelchair to Helena, who gets angry and blames Nick for her predicament. She starts throwing things his way, so Nick leaves the room. Shortly after that, the friend comes to visit Nick. He thinks no one is around because newspapers are lying on the doorstep. Meanwhile, Nick hides until his friend walks away. Also, his girlfriend is always trying to call Nick, but gets no answer. In anger, Helena tells him that she does not want him to take care of her. Angry, Nick pushes Helena out of the house and tells her to scream. Nick goes to Hormone Strong, giving him his calling card and calls for help. Meanwhile, Hormone Strong is looking for Helena. He goes to the shopkeeper, giving him his calling card and asking the shopkeeper to call him back if he... Nick's girlfriend arrives at the house, about to let herself in by using the spare key she has. Helena shouts for help as Nick attempts to silence her screams and hide her. He succeeds in doing so, but just barely. She lets herself into the house, and Nick tries to distract her, but she tongue massages him and his smelly part instead. Helena can see everything that is happening in the living room. Nick and his girlfriend get on the floor, but when she pulls her hormone outfit over her head, Nick sees Helena instead. He puts on his clothes, and they have a drink. The phone rings, and Nick gets angry because his girlfriend has plugged in the phone. Nick unplugs the phone again and tells her he does not want to be bothered by anyone. His girlfriend leaves, and behind the bushes, Hormone Strong is hiding his strong hormone smell. Nick calls the flower shop and instructs the shopkeeper to deliver flowers to Helena's place, with a note saying, "I miss you." Helena continues to treat Nick with disdain and always puts him down, calling him pathetic. She insults him regarding his sexual prowess. She strangles him, and what Nick sees before him is his dead mother choking him. Hormone Strong goes to Helena's apartment and sees the bouquet given by Nick. Meanwhile, Nick is playing the video, wherein Helena plays in the fountain. He does this while listening to classical music. The next day, Nick is skipping rope, but remembers to bring medication to Helena. In his psychotic vision, he sees his naked mother, with her back turned on him, scolding him. She tells him that he did something wrong. Nick tries to dispel the vision by running away and giving Helena her medicines. It was shocking to see both of her arms gone. She laughs maniacally, and he sits in the corner, cowering. The next day, Nick is off jogging, and Helena scolds him, saying he should not leave her alone. Nick promises to take care of her forever. One day, he uses the phone while he thinks Helena is asleep. Helena listens to his conversation with the pharmacist. The phone rings again, and Helena taunts him to answer the phone. It is Nick's friend calling, and Helena screams that she is a prisoner. But Nick shows her that the cord of the phone is off. She cries about all the things Nick has done to her. However, Nick points a gun at his head, willing to die for Helena if she says so. Nick cuddles in Helena's lap, her arms and legs miraculously attached again. He touches her muscles, and they kiss. Nick wakes up with the sound of Helena's instructions in his ears to take her, take her. Nick brings a woman home, and they have foreplay while Helena hides, watching them. Helena enjoys being a voyeur, while the two continue to do a smelly workout. The next day, Nick asks her if last night's show was good. Helena lies, saying she did not pay much attention. Helena asks him if he loves her as a woman. They kiss passionately, but without using their tongues. Nick calls the shopkeeper and orders vodka, lime juice, and pomegranates, the same things Helena ordered from the shopkeeper. He gets suspicious and calls Hormone Strong. Hormone Strong goes to Nick's house and sees Helena with no arms and legs. He punches Nick, but Helena shouts at him to stop. He then hits Nick with the pistol, rendering him unconscious. Helena begs him to wake up. He wakes up in a hospital and realizes everything is just a dream. He had been asleep all the time. He goes to Helena's room and finds her sleeping. At the same time, Helena is dreaming of the accident. The movie ends with Nick relieving all of his past experiences caused by his childhood trauma. He embraces the statue of Venus de Milo as if seeking solace. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.